everybody, it's Marion Warren with Expo Photography coming to you from Overland Expo West outside of Flagstaff. It's our first time here. We're super excited and we just wanted to share a little bit of our experience and if we can offer some tips to help other newbies who are coming maybe for their first time to a future event. So we arrived yesterday at noon and like I said, been here for 24 hours. Anything that you want to tell them about our arrival?
Yep, so we got here at Friday noon and it was full. It was busy. This is a very popular event. We came first time camping and ended up in the overflow lot in the last two spots. So my first suggestion is get here as early as you can. The gates open Thursday morning and I would recommend you get here on Thursday if possible.
Yeah, definitely. So as Warren said, we have two spots. We bought two spots hoping to be together. This was really the last spot that had two areas next to each other. They had a lot of single units available. It's a good lot with lots of visibility. However, as you can see, it's very noisy because this is the main road in and out, so cars are leaving. It is Saturday night now, so a lot of cars are leaving for the weekend.
Yep, it's also dusty, so there's a lot of dust that's being kicked up from the cars, but I guess Overland, you learned to live with that.
Yeah, so after we got here, we went ahead and set up our camp. It took about 1 to 2 hours to get everything set up. And there were a couple things that we did learn with this being our first time we camped here. What would you say is the biggest thing to take away from our setup?
Biggest thing is be prepared. You're boondocking, so you're going to be put in a natural environment in a timber. So we showed up and we had where we parked was probably knee-high weeds all over it, so we had to deal with that as soon as we pulled in. We didn't know what was underneath the weeds. We hit some stumps, we found some rocks, we found some holes. We had to level the bed of the Gladiator to make a level sleeping surface. So be prepared. You're boondocking. You're not in an RV site. So
yeah, and we've got a 5x9 mat that we put on the ground to help keep the weeds down, give us a level area for sitting on and enjoying our campfire, which is another thing. Campfires are not allowed during these events because I'm assuming because of such close quarters and a very full campground. So you are able to bring a propane fire pit, and so that's what we did bring, and it's been great because it does get cold here in Flagstaff at night. You could be in 45, 50 degree weather at night.
Yeah. Another thing to be aware is there's no drones. They do not allow any drone flying while the event's going on in this area. So be aware. Just leave it home. Don't bring it up. You don't need to get in trouble with the drone.
Yeah, and the campground, like I said, has been it's very full, but it's super clean. Everybody's very respectful that we've come into contact with. The bathrooms are clean. There's some porta potties down the road. In the main, not the overflow, is that what we call it, campground? Yep. There's no showers here, but in the main campground, there's some cabana showers, is that what we call them?
Yep.
So just keep that in mind. Bring lots of baby wipes if you don't want to use the public showers. Most of the time, the bathrooms have been clean and have toilet paper, but we always bring wet wipes just in case because you never know.
You have to be prepared.
Yeah. So after we set up camp, we walked down to the vendor show and were able to meet quite a few, or go see some of the people that we follow, some of the gear that we wanted to look at. But most of all, the first night, we just wanted to get our bearings. So we just walked around trying to find our way around. It is a very long walk from the campground to the vendor show. So bring comfortable shoes and maybe something to think about if you're thinking about purchasing something big. You're going to have to walk back to the campground carrying that. So keep that in mind. We have seen lots of people on bicycles, one wheels, motorcycles, sidecars, golf carts and such.
Carts, yeah.
So
we have seen some people with like refrigerators for the rigs being brought back in a golf cart. So we don't know if there's that service, but just be aware. It happened a lot when we were walking around that, we're interested in the product, but we did not want to carry it all the way back to that. And there's literally a half-mile walk. It's a lot if you're carrying something pretty heavy.
Exactly.
All right, so after we walked around the vendor show, we went to happy hour. Mother Road Brewery was a brewery sponsoring, I suppose, the happy hour. It was great. We made some friends with some great couples from Colorado, from Utah, had some good beers, listened to some good music. One thing I will say, we got there early just because we were looking around. I think the happy hour started at 5. About 4, we were already ready for some beers. We got there at 4, had a couple beers, and at 5, by the time it started, there was a huge line to get in. So I would recommend, if you're going to happy hour, get there a little early to find your seat, find your spot, and that was one takeaway we had from that. But then we came back down to our campground at night and made our dinner.
Yeah, be aware that it's very crowded. This is a popular event now. It's got to be the biggest crowd I've seen. I mean, I've been once before that wasn't near this big, but it's grown. It's really crowded. It's a lot of vendors and a lot of food trucks and a lot of people.
Yeah. So we came back, we cooked our dinner, and after dinner we made friends with our neighbors, had some cocktails with them, some great people from Texas and some from Louisiana, so it was a fun time doing that. But we get to bed, we wake up early. It got cold a little bit at night. We're in a truck bed tent, a couple sleeping bags in there. It got a little cool, but it wasn't too bad.
No, it was comfortable.
So this morning we woke up, we went ahead and made our breakfast here. We just planned on walking all morning around the expo show, really getting time to look at the gear that we're interested in.
And man, did we walk. Holy cow, we walked a lot of miles.
No, we walked about 7,000 steps. Met some of the YouTubers that we follow, so that was a good time. And our plan, so like I was saying, our plan was to go to the food trucks and have lunch there. But apparently that was everybody else's plan.
Yes, it was very crowded. I've never seen lines for food trucks. They must have been an hour and a half each line, just waiting to get lunch. It almost been dinner, and there was tons of trucks.
Yeah. Inside the food court, and there was a couple trucks outside the food court, but the lines were super long. So if you were going to do lunch, either get it really early or wait for the crowds to dissipate and get it later. So maybe bring some snacks to tide you over, or walk back down to your campground. That's what we ended up doing, just because an hour and a half to wait for food at that point, while we already had walked 6,000 or 7,000 steps, we were ready to eat. So we came down to our campground.
Probably another thing to throw in there is prepare an extra meal. Prepare if something doesn't go right, or you like us plan to go for lunch. We ended up back here. I mean, luckily we had some snacks to snack on, and that was good enough for this afternoon. But we could have had some lunch meat. We could have had some hot dogs, just to throw on the biscotta or whatever, and have a little lunch. We just didn't prepare for that. So bring an extra lunch, or sometimes maybe your dinner will go south and you want something else. So.
Yeah. And then after we got back, we got our hammocks out. We put them in the pines and just enjoyed a nice, relaxing day or afternoon of just enjoying the nature that's surrounding us, and I think we should get some time to relax.
Yeah, we're from Phoenix, so we enjoyed the nice cool weather. The smell of the pine trees is beautiful up here, so we just kind of took it all in and relaxed for a little bit. We've seen enough vendors. We've walked with enough people. It was a good time to rest and take our shoes off for a little bit.
Yeah, and so now we just started dinner. We got dinner going, and we're going to get ready to eat. After we eat, we'll take you on a little tour of our campground. Campsite.
Last few things I'd recommend, or bring to point that there's a lot of helpful volunteers here. Being our first time, we didn't know what we were doing. They pointed us the way, so they helped us out quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to go eat some food. We'll be back to show you the campground. So we got Ansel over here. We each drove our own rig up here so we could have them together. And he's just got his new 35-inch no trail grapplers on, and black Rhino wheels. So it was the first drive out here with the wheels and the tires. It drove great. It was fun to do that. He's mostly just storage today. He's got all our overlanding boxes in back. The camera gear is inside there, so that's his purpose here. This is our cooking station. We have a Southwest disc here. We just made up some paella for dinner tonight. It's about ready. So this is our cooking station. We got the propane tank over here. Over here we got our water supply. And this is kind of our all table. Apologize for the dustiness of it all, but like I said, we're in a very dusty corner. We at least try to keep our food areas clean and free of dust.
Oh yeah, it does look like
All right, everybody, hope you enjoyed the little walk around our campground and enjoyed hearing about our first experience here.
Yeah, and definitely don't be shy, don't be a little intimidated. I was a little going up not knowing what I was getting into, but like I said, everybody's here to help you out. Everybody's very friendly. They're tight quarters, you know, everybody's pushed and squeezed.
Squished. Some kids say
Yeah,
it.
squeezed. Everybody's put in here tightly so we can get more campers. So enjoy your neighbors and have a good time.
Yeah, and if, like I said, we are new to the overlanding world. We are mostly photographers, but we're enjoying getting out and traveling. And so if you want to come with us on our adventures, you know, watch us grow from being new overlanders and see what we become, please subscribe to our channel. Make sure you're notified when we put new videos out, and I hope it's an interesting adventure for you guys to follow along.
Absolutely. So until next time, explore,
Create, and do good.
Bye.
Bye.
Guys.